Welcome everyone. Welcome back to more of the Oblivious Garden. In the last episode, we finally enter the garden. We have met with two of the heroines. Suddenly, something's happening. What's going to happen? Find out right now. The girl opens her eyes. She looks at me. I look at her. Her eyes are purple, the color of nobility. They radiate serenity and sincerity. Not much of a talker, this one. Time goes by as we stare silently into each other's eyes. She's kind of looking down at the ground. I don't know. With the start, I remember I may be in the presence of royalty. My actions thus far have been uncouth. I immediately bow my head and introduce myself in a clear voice. My name is Arel Rice. On the orders of His Majesty, Parashio the Great, I've come to serve as the princess's fencing instructor. Please excuse me if I've interrupted your practice. As she listens to my words, the girl frown deepens and she closes her eyes again. I did interrupt her. I begin to formulate a more thorough apology, but my thoughts are interrupted before I can get it out. She opens her eyes again. Her face gives away no emotion as she whispers to me.
Lise.
She repeats my name back to me. There is recognition in her eyes. Of course, a real princess would know who I am from the servants. She looks me in the eyes as she continues speaking.
为国英雄
That was.
赢到胜利之人
My heart begins to ache as she recites the different names and titles I've borne.
传说中的圣骑士在世
Her eyes start to twinkle, but she goes on.
背叛者
I don't like that.
国家的耻辱
Oh, I don't like that one either. In a steady voice, the girl recites all of my names. Former names, current names, all of them I've ever heard. She acknowledges every aspect of my past and present. I stand up straighter, barely managing to smile as she gives a complete account of my past through names. As she speaks, she watches me with those watery eyes, compassion and sympathy swimming in her unshed tears. When she finishes speaking, she closes her eyes and walks towards me. I stand aside to allow her room to pass. On her way past me, she whispers something I haven't heard anyone say about me before.
就像迷路的孩子一样彷徨
She leaves without turning back. Her slim body disappears behind the door. Only a slight fragrance in the air is left behind to prove she was ever here. A fragrance in the beating of my heart, which is far faster than normal for some time after her departure. Things I had intentionally forgotten are now floating to the forefront of my thoughts. Truths I had hidden from myself have been brought back into the light. The false courage I had built in exile is once again overshadowed by doubt. I grow increasingly depressed. Though it is still early in the morning, I am no longer in the mood to train here alone. The ghosts of my past seem to lie in wait behind every corner. But none of the thoughts or memories I'm struggling to deal with once again can erase the memory of those noble eyes. After a brief rest, I leave the fencing hall. Oh, I got blueberry. It's very, strange. Okay. Okay, so, we're going up here. Now this is Dyanna! Remember Dyanna from Sakura Wars? This is not the same Dyanna. Ooh, look at that beautiful red. My name is Arel Rice, and I'm an alcoholic. Once, I was a baron, if you'll believe it. I don't have any middle name. My title was earned by my ancestors through distinguished service to the country. But now the honor is nothing but dust in the wind. This is a small roseland held aloft in the sky by the magic that built and sustained it. I'm standing in an uninterrupted sea of roses that is uninterrupted except where some were recently removed. The empty spaces where the missing flowers once were form two letters, I-R. As the girl vanished, she somehow carved my initials into a sea of red. You think I'm incredible? You are the one who's incredible, my princess. I smile bitterly as I reminisce about what just happened. Half an hour ago. When I had first arrived and was wandering through the Oblivious garden, I noticed an island hanging in the sky above the lake. I was astounded and curious about such a miraculous wonder. I went on to explore other sections of the garden, but later my curiosity just led me to this garden in the clouds. In the middle of this garden is a fountain. Surrounding the fountain are 4 equally sized rose fields. Nothing interrupts their dominance over the garden except the strange transparent pathways and fountains in the center. What an amazing sea of flowers! For a time, I just stand amidst them, marveling at the idea of a rose garden that floats in the clouds. The wind is filled with the fragrance of roses. The scarlet petals floating on the breeze are a wonderful contrast with the bright blue sky and the fluffy white clouds. Clear water flows under the transparent sheets of something the path is paved with. What an amazing garden I have found! This garden is certainly the only one like it in the entire country. It's probably unique in all the world. Careful not to harm the delicate petals all around me, I lean in to examine one of the rosebuds more closely. The petals have a flaming red color which looks full of life. But, unlike normal roses, they don't even have thorns. They are unblemished by the cruelty of the world. Even one with the poorest taste could not disparage such a magnificent beauty. The gardener who cares for this place must be a true master of their craft. Surely it must be a full-time job to maintain even such a small sliver of paradise. Strange that I don't see anyone tending to their plants right now. A sudden breeze causes ripples on the surface of the water. As it blows through the sea of roses, the wind picks up thousands of bright red petals. Once the wind dies down again, the petals fall in a gentle scarlet shower. When I bring my attention back from watching the petals, I see someone up ahead. When I'm about to say something, I hesitate. I hesitate because the girl...
看啊，罗莎琳德，那边的风，还有那边的云。
The girl is sitting amidst the flowers. That's a good picture. Can I get that picture? Oh, I can't. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. The artwork in this game is absolutely breathtaking. You'd have to be a blind fool not to see it. She has long, silver hair and weaves a sky blue dress with some simple decorations.
在这里，几乎听得到他们开怀大笑的声音，多少有点令人羡慕，不是吗？
Her eyes are red. Their shade reminds me of a type of sweet wine. After journeying past a pristine lake, up an intricate crystal staircase, standing atop a floating island, and walking amidst a sea of unblemished roses, this young girl is the most stunning vision I've seen yet. But she's not talking to me.
那么，再见了。
She lets go of the rose she seemed to be speaking to. The flower is caught by the wind and carried away.
谢谢你和我说话，罗莎琳德。
The girl stands up and turns around. She has noticed me. I try to open my mouth, but I don't know what to say to her. She looks surprised. Does she realize that I heard what she said before?
您是从栅栏外面来的吗？
Yeah, I did. I mean, I can't lie to her. I'm confident of my reply. I was sent here with a purpose, and focusing on that purpose keeps me centered. I should introduce myself and apologize for startling her.
太好了！
What? Wait, what does wonderful mean?
请给我讲一些外面世界的事情吧。不可思议！您是说，外面的世界虽然有着同样的天空，但玫瑰却是有刺的吗？
Correct. Roses without thorns are a rare thing indeed. To say nothing of so many perfect roses all in one place, thorns are not. Of course, thorns give mystery and dignity to roses, but there's no doubt that it's really comfortable sitting in a field of roses without thorns. We've been here a while now. She kept asking me questions about the outside world curiously. The outside. Sometimes when she talks about it, she uses some ancient words, ones that I can hardly understand myself. As far as I know, only the old mages with white hair and beards use such archaic languages. While answering the girl's questions, I have become more and more curious about her. Who is she? She must be of noble birth, judging by the way she speaks and carries herself. But experience has taught me that members of the royal family are typically more arrogant than she is. I pick up a rose that has a bright color. She is just like this kind of a rose, without any thorns. She cries out while jumping up. What is it?
光顾着听外面的事，完全忘记时间了。
Do you have somewhere to be?
今天大家难得聚在一起，据说有重要的事。
I'm sorry to have delayed you then.
没关系，谢谢你告诉我外面的事。
She turns to go.
对了，我还不知道您的名字呢，可以告诉我吗？
I hesitate. Maybe she has heard of me. The scandals, the shame, my failure. I imagine her hating me. The thought alone is painful. I roll rice.
艾尔里斯。
She frowns. I wait for her to condemn me. Time seems to move so slowly for me as I am a criminal waiting for his judgment.
是个怪名字呢。
After bracing myself for censure, I'm left speechless and relieved instead. She hasn't heard of me.
不过很清爽，有风的味道。
She smiles. It's a smile with no sadness and unhappiness.
我叫迪安娜。
Another breeze picks up some of the rose petals and sends them spinning around us as she gives me her name.
这片玫瑰送给你。
Oh, we got a rose. Wait. Her figure vanishes into the rose bushes. When did she... Rose petals are forming two letters in front of me. They are my initials. IR. How long have I not enjoyed this peaceful life? There was never any time for rest in the army. Afterwards, I didn't find any luxuries in the southern village to which I was exiled either. As a hero of Salantu, I was expected to fight hard and not let the people down. As a lowly peasant stripped of my wealth and titles, I worked day and night, struggling just to survive. Now, with little else to occupy me as I lie in bed, memories that I had thought would long lay to rest bestir themselves. I have too much free time here. No matter how I occupy my body, the ghosts of my past haunt my idle mind. Grief ruined my appetite during the lunch earlier. Maybe a walk will do me some good. My pocket watch tells me it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun rides high in the sky, but it is not so bright. It seems that the hot weather of summer doesn't exist here, and the fragrant winds that blow through cool me off and help somewhat unease my troubled heart. But unlike in the woods or the Roseland, the atmosphere here is tense with anticipation. The princesses who usually inhabit this part of the garden are not willing to bestir themselves before the party tonight. I spot the fencing hall's dome and decide I'll head in that direction.
那边的先生，来帮个忙好吗？
A voice comes from up ahead. Looking in that direction, I see a young girl appear from behind the door of the fencing hall.
喂，这里，这里！
She waves her hands wildly as if expecting me to pretend I don't see her if she is any less blatant about it. The girl is in a maid's uniform. She has white, short hair, which is tied with a hairpin, and her small face looks cute. Unlike Lynn, her highness, she appears humble in both dress and demeanor, just like a normal girl next door.
失礼了。
She grows increasingly nervous as I approach, but quickly masks her anxiety behind a polite smile.
我还以为是哪位园丁在附近，没想到竟然是艾奥里斯大人。刚才竟然那样无礼的招呼你，真是十分过意不去。
That's all right. If you have any problems, I sincerely offer my assistance.
那真是劳烦您了。啊，不对，请千万不要对我自称在下。您是公主殿下们的剑术导师，自然也是我的主人。若那样自称的话，我会感到很困扰的。
Oh, well, I won't then. The maid has a big breath and points inside the hall.
事情是这样的，我们想把剑术馆里的用具拿出来清洗一下，做一些保养。因为大家平时都不太喜欢练剑，所以很多专门置办的设备都积了灰，不赶快做清洁的话，可能会很麻烦呢。
Are the equipments too many and too heavy for you to handle?
真是十分惭愧，花园里的仆人大多是女性，对于搬运这种力气活，实在是有些。
Then let me help you.
非常感谢您，黑奥大人。
While clearing out the storage room, we also find a grand piano behind the equipment that needs cleaning. It looks quite heavy, but the little maid assures me I only have to give her a hand. I soon discover her tiny frame conceals a powerful body. She lifts the piano straight up. She only needed me to keep it steady on the other end. What an embarrassment to my former profession. Here I am, a hardened soldier, and I'm being outdone by a maid? After we finish moving the equipment, the maid insists on thanking me properly, so I follow as she leads me to a small, open garden.
这是刚泡好的蜂蜜茶，还有今天早上烘焙的蛋糕。不介意的话，请品尝一下。
Ah, but this is far too great a reward for the small effort I put in. You did most of the work, after all.
您不满意吗？如果需要别的什么东西，我会想办法弄来。
No, please don't trouble yourself any further. Sweet tea and fresh cookies will make a lovely snack. I'm very grateful. The maid seems a little distressed, so I just sit quietly sipping tea in an attempt to reassure her. This tea she made is perfect, regardless of temperature or taste. My curiosity is getting the better of me. Well, by the way, you know my name but have not offered me yours. May I have it now? She stills, and her face takes on a look of concern.
十分抱歉，但现在还不可以。大人，您和公主殿下们还没有见面，我不能先于殿下们让您得知姓名，
Such
这样对
manners.
殿下们很失礼。
Okay. I try to keep up a happy front to hide my distress. What a tragedy that such a young girl is destined to grow up stiff and formal working in the Oblivious garden. Worse, there's nothing I can do. I am also bound by the rules of the garden. In time, I will embody the very rules that are stealing her childhood. I should change the subject. What should we talk about? Should we talk about guarding, riding, or fencing? Well, you know what? I'm going to sleep on this one, and I will end the video off here. And I will think of what we should talk about in the next video. Take it easy, everybody.